Alright, so Oscar and I played two very different decks this week. I played a rendition of Warrior Light Tribal, including the new 7 CP Warrior Light. So it's very, very straightforward in my opinion. We just have a Warrior Light package, which includes 2 Soul, 3 Dusk, 3 Ferris, 3 Refia, 3 Lena from Opus 15, and then we have 2 Barts from Opus 15. We run 3 4-color wool and 3 7 CP wool. So being that 7 CP wool is kind of new, just in case you don't know, as soon as he enters, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, play 2 characters that cost 3. It is exactly 3, not 3 or less, unfortunately. And play those 2 characters onto the field. So being that it's characters, you can grab any of the 3 cost forwards, or you can grab any of the 3 cost backups that we have. But in and of itself, this little Warrior Light engine is very, I'd say it's pretty efficient. In the games that we played, it didn't take long to get the engine going. And truthfully, I think if it wouldn't been for the massive stall that is Mira and Zombie, it would have been pretty good. I felt like it would have been pretty quick.
Probably been that way a long time ago.
Yeah. But I mean, so I guess this also has a like a sub engine in it, which is the Crystal package. This video is sponsored by Nerd Labs. At Nerd Labs, we carry all kinds of Final Fantasy TCG singles. If we don't have the card, it's probably because, I don't know, somebody's already bought it. We carry everything from promos all the way from Opus 1 to Opus 21. Every single day, prices are updated to be 10% cheaper than whatever is TCG player low. So get your singles while you can. Back to the video. This Bart's, of course, this Lena and this Soul all use crystals. So there needs to be some sort of way to generate crystals. So Cian is kind of like the best crystal generator that's out there right now. Being that he's also a 3 cost, it just makes a lot of sense to throw him in here. But as soon as he enters, you can pay X. The maximum that you can pay X is 5. And then he just generates X amount of crystals. So it's really easy to just grab a bunch of crystals. In the games that we played, there was I had enough. Ended up having 6 crystals at one point. Paid 5. Killed, or did 9k to the whole board, which killed Montleonis. And then paid an extra crystal to kill Wool, which was really, really satisfying. So he's one of the best crystal generators. You also have Sarah Mobius, which generates a crystal herself, but that's kind of beside the point. It is nice that when you gain a crystal, you can reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand if it's a backup. Every time I did it, that became true. I feel like that's just dumb luck, though.
Yeah.
But she is really nice to have, especially when you do start gaining crystals. If Bart's is already on the field and another Warrior Light enters the field, you can start to gain crystals. Anytime Soul is on the field and you party attack, you gain crystals. So she can quickly filter through the deck, and the fact that you can put it on top or bottom means that if you need it, you can leave it on top. If you don't, you can throw it on bottom. And then the last card that I included was Moro. This is Opus 16 Moro, probably one of my favorite Moros out there. He has haste, which is something that most of the deck does not have at all, but he can basically, he gives all forwards the ability to party attack with any element, and that's really nice considering there's a bunch of different elements here. But when he forms a party and attack, you can discard a card and draw 2 cards. There is a big issue, in my opinion, with the name rule here. I mean, obviously, if you have one of these, you can't have this on the board, and then you almost play 3 of everything that you have. So sometimes it does get a little clunky. Being able to discard a card to draw 2 new cards is really, really nice. And at damage 5, whenever he forms a party and attacks, it deals your opponent a point of damage straight off the top. So that was very nice in certain situations. So as far as the forwards go, I'm really happy with all of them. I don't think I would necessarily change any of the forwards. Flex spots probably would be Sarah Mobius. She's probably the most least important forward in my opinion. But if you had another Warrior Light forward that you liked instead of Sarah Mobius, I would probably go with that. The only reason she's truly in here is because she gains a crystal, but she's also a 3 cost, so I can grab her with Warrior Light as well. So I really dig the whole package here. Then we go into the backups that we have. And the backups are honestly just a cheat sheet in case 7 CP wool doesn't work out. It's kind of a backup plan to just get out 4 color wool. So basically we play all Opus 21s 3 cost backups because obviously 7 CP wool can hit them and play them onto the field for free. But you'll notice that there were 0 earth forwards in here. So playing Monk has proven to be quite difficult. The only card that you can discard for it is Monk himself or 4 CP wool, so that's kind of annoying. I definitely feel like this package at least gets you there, but there's got to be a more efficient way of doing this. I was considering running 6 CP Sarah FFL. When she enters, you can search for 2 FFL characters or 2 Warrior Lights. So I thought that was really good, and I think that's really efficient because being able to just search for Warrior Light and then search for Warrior Light just to have the special like on hand is really nice. But the whole idea of running all these was, of course, they gain you crystals, but when you control 3 or less, you can draw a card, and they all function off of 7 CP wool, so they're really good for that. Aria is here because I felt like it was A, an EX burst, and B, it's a lot cheaper than the 6 CP Sarah FFL. And it searches for a Job Warrior Light, so literally searches for like 70% of the deck. So the backups are pretty simple, but I definitely would consider changing them. I think maybe the 3 CP King Tycoon backup, the one that searches for Ferris or Lena, would be really good because it's also a wind. And then there's got to be something different in this department that I could play. I didn't mind the Monk, I didn't mind the Sarah Samurai or the Paladin at all. They were both fine. They were fairly easy to cast. I would say the general color split of the deck is a lot of wind, is a lot of water, and fire. So I didn't really have any issues playing those. It was getting out the earth and the wind. And then we get to the very small summon package, which is kind of a I need some summons to play. So we play 3 Opus 1 Levy and 2 Opus 6 Levy. The reason I went with these is because, honestly, I just wanted a way to bounce 7 CP wool back to my hand. This is an EX burst, so worst case scenario it's a defensive card, best case scenario it's a proactive card to bounce 7 CP wool, which then I can turn around and replay that hopefully next turn to abuse that a little bit. The Opus 6 Levy is the exact same concept. Choose a forward, return it to the owner's hand, so that's kind of the main shtick there, but choose an action ability and cancel its effect actually came in handy. And the sad part, if you were watching the 3 games that we played, I had it in hand and was waiting for you to activate the Mira, and I was going to cancel the Mira. But when you activated whatever it was that you activated, I was like, I can't let that happen. So, because you would have had to have at least paid the cost to activate the Mira, which would have kept her in the break on, and then you cancel the effect, where Zombie wouldn't have been completely unbreakable. So that was the plan. Unfortunately, it didn't necessarily go that way. But yeah, other than the backups, I definitely feel like this is a solid start, and I really actually enjoyed playing it. It was really fun. So if you have played any Warrior Light Tribals or anything like that, and you have some pointers, please let me know. Other than that, that's all I got.